And the reasons they gave are very interesting. The PGCB said no because they questioned Levan's business plan, saying there was no credible evidence Crossroads could compete with Charlestown for the Maryland, D.C. gamblers. By the way, this is from the PGCB, not from me. They also stated that, quote, if Maryland legalizes slots, Crossroads would generate the least amount of money to the state. And of course we know Maryland has legalized slots. They acknowledged that most casinos' revenues come from locals. And the PGCB added that the Gettysburg area is primarily a rural area without large population centers nearby to sustain the casino. The investors characterized, the investors have said, and the pros say constantly, that the opposition are just moralists, just a bunch of people trying to tell other people what to do. But the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board didn't see it that way. They said there was overwhelming, sustained community opposition based on history and impact on a rural community. Nobody wants to tell anybody what to do, but we want you to stay away from the Gettysburg National Military Park. But that was, you know, it took us a while to recover. We were in that battle for 20 months. So Jim and I went on vacation, and while we were on vacation in 2007, we started getting calls from the press saying, hey, what about this racino? The same investors were trying to get a racino in 2007. The same investors tried to get a racino in 2008. That was a little bit better publicized locally. The Harness Racing Commission refused these overtures. We never publicly protested in 2007 and 2008 because it just didn't get far enough. There was no location mentioned, perhaps outside of Littlestown. I don't think there would be this level of protest if this weren't so close to the Gettysburg National Military Park. 2009 and 2010, the casino investors negotiated with the Eisenhower Inn. They tried to get a contract in time for the July 2009 deadline to apply for the Category 3, the resort, resort license. And in November, an investigative reporter uncovered them lobbying in Gettysburg, and that's how we found out about this particular proposal. The table games legislation that passed in January reopened that license. And there are already, right now, there are 3 other resorts that have already applied for that license. Mason-Dixon Resort and Casino has announced that it will file an application by the April 7th deadline. They have asked Cumberland Township for blank check rezoning, basically rezoning with absolutely no conditions that can go into any one of the Cumberland Township's, is it 7 mixed-use areas. Those 7 areas include places all around Cumberland Township. Why is that important when the investors only want one location now? Because the legislature and the governor and the government of Pennsylvania is never seemingly going to run out of the need for more cash. And right now they seem to think that adding more and more and different types of casinos and different types of gambling is the way that the government will get the cash. No Casino Gettysburg is back. We're stronger than ever. Why is this a bad proposal? Tonight you're going to hear speakers talking about economics, about addiction, about community impact, and a variety of other things. You're going to learn why we're saying that even though the casino will create jobs, and jobs are important, that because of the negative impact on our heritage tourism economy and the negative impact from local addiction, not everybody will get addicted, but some will, there will be 2 jobs lost in Adams County for every job gained in the casino. The location is even worse than the 2005 proposal. This is the 2005 proposal. This is the journey. This is Route 15. This is Business 15, which is the journey through hallowed ground. The journey through hallowed ground represents the work of 180 communities from Monticello to Gettysburg. It ends in Gettysburg. Gettysburg is the anchor point of this heritage tourism journey through hallowed ground. Here's the casino proposal. It's at the Eisenhower Inn. The Eisenhower Inn property includes the All-Star Sports Complex. It's now called the All-Star Fun Complex, which serves the youth of our community. It also includes Devonshire Village, and those 80 families that live there, about 80, are very nervous about this proposal. Very nervous. This map was done by the Adams County Mapping Office for No Casino Gettysburg. It's 0.53 of a mile to the Gettysburg National. This dark green is the Gettysburg National Military Park. This is the Eisenhower Park. And you can see here on the map, this is, I can't see from this angle, but it's very close to Gettysburg, to the town of Gettysburg. It is a little bit farther from the borough. It's about 4.
It's just under 4.
Just under 4 miles to the borough. And it goes right through the most visited part of the park. That's why this is designated as the Journey Through Hallowed Ground, where our heritage tourists go. The most visited parts of the park, the angle, the area where Pickett's charge was. It's closer to the national park. It's on the Journey Through Hallowed Ground National Scenic Byway. It's in a less developed part of the country, of the county, with no public utilities. They have a sewer system, but they don't have it hooked up, and the Eisenhower Inn has had to bring in water in the summers. It's on a rural 2-lane road that can't handle the traffic. It's surrounded by homes and residences. I mentioned Devonshire Village. The All-Star Sports Complex, we're going to hear a little bit more about that later. It offends our heritage tourists, who are our community's bread and butter. We have a solid industry here based on heritage tourism. There's some fluctuation, and the tourists, there have been a lot of stories about how many tourists we have. We're going to hear more about that. And we have a very lively group of speakers, and actually I'm going to let them do their presentation. And the first one I'm going to invite up here is Bill Reaver, who is a realtor here in Gettysburg, who's going to